Hello everyone, today we are back again with another video, and today's video is a programming session on for loop. So basically, to understand the programs that we will be practicing, you should have a clear idea about looping, how is looping work, for loop, the syntax of for, and also decision making using the if else. Now let's move right into the video. So we are back again in VS Code, and now we will be programming 5 of our examples on for loop. So first of all, I am already saying that I have made 5 of the .c programs with everyone with a single question on for loop. Now let's just see the first question. In the first question, we have to take a number as an input, and then we have to print the summation of all the natural number till that number. That, let's say I have given the input as 5, then I have to sum up from 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 4 plus 5 till 5 to get 15, and then we have to print 15. So in this program, let's first take the value of int n, a variable, and then I will ask the user to give the input of n, enter the value, and then I will just take the number as an input, scanf %d, give the address of that n by address operator. Here I have taken a value of n in our variable n. Now I will define the for loop first. The for loop is defined something like this. Okay, now first of all I have to take another variable I, which will be used in our looping process. Now we will just write here, this is the initialization part, that is I is equals to 1, as our loop will start from 1. See, in this example it is starting from 1 here, and then let's say our condition will be something like this: I will be smaller than equals to n. N is the number that we have taken as an input, and I is iterating plus 1 every single in every single iteration. Now in this statement part, I will just say sum is equals to sum plus I, and then I will declare a variable sum here, and I will also give the value as 0. Now let's see what is happening here. I will just say the value of I and the value of sum. Okay, now let's see. First, the value of I is 1. Now it is checking, is it smaller than n? Let's say our n value is 5. Then yes, I is smaller than n. Then the code will be run, the statement will be run, that is sum is equals to, that is sum is equals to sum, the initial value of sum is 0, that is 0 plus 1, it will gives 1. So in the first iteration, after first iteration, the value of I is 1 and value of sum will be 1. In the next iteration, I plus plus occur and the value of I becomes 2, and then after it's checked, yes, it is smaller than n, then this code will run, and this will say sum is equals to sum, the initials for now the value of sum is 1, and it will add with 2, it will gives us 3. So here it will give us 3. In the next iteration, if the value of I becomes 3, the value of sum becomes 3 plus 3 6, and this loop continues until the value of I become 5 and the sum value become 15. Now let's print the value of sum, printf %d. Here I will just write sum is equals to, and then sum. Okay, this is what we will be printing. Now let's just run this program. We will hit our run button. You see, enter the value. Let's say I give the input as 5. Let's see what is the output here, 15. You see, I have printed the same example. Now let's check another example, and now I will give the input a large number, something like 50, and let's see what is the output. It will be 1275. You can use the calculator and check our answer. Okay, next let's move to the second program. Our second program says find the factorial of a number. If you don't know what is factorial, factorial is something like this. If I am asking for 5 factorial, I am actually asking for 5 into 4 into 3 into 2 into 1. This is what I am asking if I say I want 5 factorial. So let's take a variable again n, in which we will store the value of the number whose factorial we will be calculating. Enter the value. Okay, and then I will just start our for loop. Okay, now I will just declare I here. It is again a iterator. This time let's say I am asking I from the initial value, that is n. So I will be 5 here. No, not 5, n actually. 5, and it is decreasing with each iteration. That is why I will write here I minus minus. Also I have to check that if I is greater than equals to 1 or not. Okay, and in the program part I will just write fact is equals to fact multiplied by I. Now we will just print here. I will take a variable fact, and also I will initialize it with 1. Now we will just print this one. Factorial %d, and then I will just print there fact value. Now let's see the runtime, what is happening behind the scene. Let's say I have the value of I here, and again the value of fact here. Okay, now let's see what is happening here. First of all, our value of I becomes n. That is, let's say the user is giving the input as n is equals to 5. So our value of I first of all becomes 5. Then it is checking is it greater than 1 or not. Yes, it is greater than 1. So the fact is equals to fact multiplied by I. This command, this statement executes, and after execution of this statement, factorial's value becomes 5. How? See here. First of all, I have initialized the fact value as 1. So the 1 into I, that is 5, is equals to we gets 5. Now after the executing the statement, the iterated part executes, and this will decrease the value of I to 4. So now the value of I is 4, and after this 4 will check yes, it is greater than 1. The execution of this this statement occur, and this will change the value of fact to fact. Previous fact value is 5, and it is multiplied with the current I, that is 4. It will provide 20. So now the fact value is 20, and this is how it is continues to goes on, and the I values continues to goes on till 1, because I have said if I is greater than or equals to 1. If the I value of I becomes 0, then it will check the command, and it will become false, and this statement will not execute. Now let's run this program and see if we are getting the output. Yes, enter the value factorial is equals to 1. Okay, here something went wrong. Let's see what I have taken the okay, I have not taken the input, sorry for that. Scanf %d and giving the input address of that, and now we will run the program here. Yes, enter the value. Let's say I give the input as 5. Yes, the factorial is 120. You can check it in your calculator. Now let's see, let's provide a big number, something like 225, and then if you will run it, yes, the factorial is a quite large number. You can then also you can just check in your calculator, it will be fine. Now let's move to the next question. Our next question is to generate the multiplication table. we have to take a value as input again, and then we will just write printf here, enter the value, and then we will ask the user for the input %d and provide the address operator here. After this we will just print the value. For that, for loop I is equals to 1, I will and I is equals to 1. For that, I should be declared first, and then it is initialized, then semicolon, I less than equals to 10. It will be iterated till 10, and then I plus plus, and this is how the for loop will goes. And then this is part we have to print the table, so it will be printed something like this. First of all, ampersand d, sorry, yeah, ampersand d space multiplied with ampersand d space equals to space ampersand d. Now you will saying what is this? We will provide here comma, and then I will write first ampersand d will accept the value of n, second ampersand d is for the I, and third ampersand d will be for n multiplied by I. Why we are doing this? We are doing this because we want to print something like this. Let's say our value of n is 5, then 5 multiplied with 1 gives 5. This is what we want to print. And after that we will print 5 multiplied with 2 is equals to 10. Something like this we have to print. That is why we are doing this. And let's just run this program. Yes, it is asking for the value. Let's just zoom in the output. It is asking for a value. Now let's say I want to print the table of 5, so I'm giving the value of 5, enter value that is 5, and after hitting enter you will see we are printing the complete table, but it is quite messy because we have not provided this backslash n. Let's just check again with a backslash n here. Now we will just run it again. Okay, and now we will provide 5, and let's see, this is the table. Now you are seeing a complete table here. You see 5 into 1, 5, 10, 5 into 2, 10, 5 into 3, 15, 5 into 4, 20, and this goes on till 5 into 10. Let's run this program again, and this time I will print a table of quite large number, let's say 234. Now let's see if the program is able to do that or not. Enter. Yes, it is. We have printed the table of 234. This is a nice program because you are not now remembering any table as we were doing in our kids. Now this one is a tricky one as we have to print the Fibonacci series. So now you will see what is Fibonacci series. Basically Fibonacci series is something like this. First the number Fibonacci series start with 0 and next 1. This is the initial state of a Fibonacci series, and after that 1 plus 0 gives 1, and then 1 plus 1 gives 2, then 2 plus 1 gives 3, and then 3 plus 2 gives 5, 5 plus 3 gives 8, and this goes on. This is what the Fibonacci series is all about. Now let's see how we will print the Fibonacci series. First of all, we will take a variable int n. This will be the largest number till where we have to print the Fibonacci series. We'll ask the user to input, and then we will just scanf, take the input from the user as an integer type, and then here. Now we have the largest number that the Fibonacci series will end with. Now let's just write Fibonacci series Fibonacci series backslash n. Then I will start a for loop here. I is equals to 1. We are starting the I as is equals to 1, but first we have to declare I here. Okay, and now we will start writing our for loop, that is I is equals to 1. It must be less than equals to n, of course, and it should be written something like this, plus plus 1. Now you will say why we are using plus plus 1, because first we have to increase the value of I, then we have to multiply it, add it, sorry for that. Now we will just here, okay, now we will just print a value. The first value 0 and 1 are all, we have 0 and 1 will be declared, so here only I will write n1, let's say t1 is equals to 0 and t2 is equals to 1, and then also we will declare a next variable next. Don't be confused, we are taking 0 and 1 as initial value because this is the property of Fibonacci series that it always start with 0 and 1. You have to remember that. And then we will be here printing %d. Let's give a space so that it will look nice, and then t1. First of all we are printing the 0, and then what we will do, we will take the next value and we will add up t1 plus t2. This will give us now, for now it will give us 2, no, 1, sorry, for now next value is 1, and then t1 is equals to t2 is equals to next. So okay, now this is what a Fibonacci series program looks like. Now let us understand what is happening here. First of all, I am printing the value of t1, that is 0 here, and then next is a temporary variable in which we are storing t1 plus t2. We have already declared t2 but we have not printed it, so now the t next value is 1, and then t1 is equals to t2. What it will do, it will just print the value, it will just take the value from t2 and it will give that value in t1. For now t2 value is 1, so it will t1 value will change from 0 to 1, and then t2 is equals to next, so the next value, that is 1 is again stored in t2. Now let's just visualize this something like this, t1 t2 next. First of all, I have declared that t1 is equals to 0, t2 is equals to 1, and next is a temporary variable. Now let's say after this 0, what we are doing, we are printing t1, that is 0 is printed. Let's say what it will be printed here. Here we write what will be printed in the screen. We have printed 0, t1, that is 0, and then we are giving a space. After t1 is printed, next value is equals to t1 plus t2, so that next becomes 1 here. Now you see what is happening, t1 is equals to t2, so this value 1 will be stored in t1, so 1 will be here, and t2 is equals to next, that is this one value will be stored here. Okay, and then it will print again the t1 value. Okay, here I will take a small mistake here. Again t1 value is printed, that is 1, so it will print here 1. After that what will happen, again after printing t1 it will goes to next is equals to t1 plus t2, that next is equals to 2 here. Now again t1 is equals to t2, that is here value of t1 becomes 1, and t2 is equals to next, that is t2 value is 2. So now the value which is to be printed is t1, that is 1. Again it will be print 1. Now next up, after printing 1 here, the next is equal becomes t2 plus t1, that is 2 plus 1 3. And what we will do, t1 is equals to t2, that is here 2, and t2 becomes next, that is here 3, and then 2 is printed, so here it will be printing 2, something like this. It will goes on, and it will be, this is the Fibonacci series. Now let's run this program, F6. Okay, it is compiled successfully. And then asking for a value. Okay, it is giving something error. It is asking for a value. Now let's say I'm giving a value till I want to print the Fibonacci series till 120. Now let's see if it is printing or not. You see, this is the Fibonacci series of 120 numbers. It starts from 1 plus 0 is equals to 1, 1 plus 1 is equals to 2, 2 plus 1 is equals to 3, 3 plus 2 is equals to 5, 5 plus 3 is equals to 8. Again goes on, 8 plus 13 is equals to 21, 21 plus 13 is equals to 34, and this goes on until this number. So this is what Fibonacci series is all about. Now let's wrap this video. So now, if you like our video, please like it. If you want such videos more, please subscribe it and also share with your friends to support us. Thank you for watching.